Welcome back to The Factor Uncensored. The World Health Organization found that more than 1 billion people worldwide are now obese. Obesity rates among children aged 5 to 19 have more than quadrupled between 1990 and 2022. Contrary to some people's beliefs, it's not solely due to laziness. Genetics also play a large role.
Dr. Ali, you know, many people probably thought about it. They probably said, I'm in that situation, but there was really no study to prove it that, you know, genetics and individuals could be predisposed to gain weight. So there's a study out now, and you have the latest on that.
That's correct, Isaiah. So one of the recent studies are showing is that there's up to a 50% increase likelihood of being obese if it runs in the family, right? Genetics, meaning that there's up to 50% of that it may be associated with genetics. And what we're seeing is that, Isaiah, those folks that are genetically inclined to be obese also have higher risk of comorbidities like high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, all of those things that actually predispose them to getting sick at an earlier age and even having other complications like amputations, arthritis, sleep apnea, all of those things that we are seeing that are associated with obesity.
And so when you have a situation where you're overweight and you're morbidly obese or unhealthy, and you have these genetics in your family, how do you deal with that?
Yeah, Isaiah, it's very difficult, right? I mean, it places a stress. It causes lots of psychological issues as well, perhaps. And so the biggest thing is to be mindful of that, Isaiah, and to consider, the diet sorts of things that we talk about. So eating healthy, not eating late at night, consuming smaller meals, consuming meals that may digest slowly in your stomach, i.e. proteins. That's why a high, rich protein diet is so essential for folks that are that have these genetic predispositions. So there are things you can do. It's not just raise your hand and say, hey, it's genetics and it's out of my hand. It's more of, what are things and steps that we can do to, prevent this and to help with it if we are at a higher risk. And so those folks should be training, having maybe a personal trainer, maybe exercising daily, even though the recommendations may be, 3 to 5 days a week. They may be a little bit more self-conscious about that and maybe walking more, eating less, eating in small bites. Those sorts of things can be very helpful. And if it does get out of control, or if, you are in that morbidly obese category, and now because of that, you're having other complications, diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, all of those things, then you may want to see somebody that you may need some sort of surgery. You may need some sort of weight loss medications. You may need a dietary counselor. So there are folks out there that can help you through this journey and make sure that you live a healthy life and a life that doesn't involve getting these comorbidities, these risk factors, these diseases, in working on a good pathway.
One of the things you mentioned was not giving up and saying, look, I'm just predisposed to be a heavy person. And right now, I don't know if you know, there's a whole trend going on social media where individuals say they're coming out as fat, meaning they are fat and they say they're satisfied and there's nothing else because they've done too much. But do you think that's the right attitude to take when your health is at risk?
Yeah, I caution against that, Isaiah, exactly for that reason, because it does predispose you to higher comorbidities, right? Being obese doesn't kill you. Yes, you can get sleep apnea and arthritis, and we know those things. But what actually kills you is those the comorbidities, the side effects of being obese, right? So the cholesterol, the high blood pressure, diabetes, coronary disease or heart disease, those are what kills you. What people don't understand, Isaiah, is that we have fat cells that grow and shrink, right? And those are the cells that the fat goes into. At some point, they become full, and then those fat that's there then goes into the organs. That's where it causes the organ failures, those organs, your livers, your kidneys, your heart, not to work as efficiently and as best as it could. That's what leads to problems, and that's why we have so many people ending up in the hospital that are obese and that have other comorbidities with that.
All right, Dr. Danish Ali, and of course the study suggested or says, and it makes sense, losing weight is not easy. It's going to have to take hard work. And we appreciate your guidance on this, and we appreciate your time here on the Factor Uncensored tonight.